want to thank everybody who got to play WrestleRumble.com, the Wrestle Rumble Pick'em Challenge, which they do, and you can win money for earning points of making the most correct
This guy
predictions.
won. Third place. I'm okay with the bronze medal.
out of
how many? I don't even know how many.
Several thousand people.
Well, look at that. Somebody knows something on this set.
Yeah, well, hey.
What would you place?
A blind squirrel finds a nut, I guess.
That's true. I found 75 nuts.
You did.
A bunch of nuts.
Wrestle Rumble, I think they are coming back for a Fastlane Pick'em Challenge, so you will be able to get in on that if you'd like. You can win up to $500 for first place prize. And, of course, that's going to be all based around the main event, which is Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose. We've said this before. The February pay-per-view just so many times is just a very large inconvenience for WWE's planning.
Mm-hmm.
You have Triple H, who became the champion, not to a surprise of a lot of people, becomes champion, which I think that's the best move you can make. So you know, and so you kind of figure, okay, a champion. We knew even before Triple H, we knew the champion's going to win Rumble. So obviously there's some relevance for Fastlane. But then when they do this, it kind of makes me seem like I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like the fact that this is the first match Brock Lesnar's had since returning from the UFC in 2012. This is the first match he's having where I'm like, he's got no shot.
And you nailed it right on the head. It's an inconvenience for WWE because now you have to build another pay-per-view, and they want to make this more important. So you bring that contenders match, triple threat match. Blake Mitchemore on CSR Wrestling wrote about, are they setting Roman Reigns up to fail? And you think about it like this, Brock Lesnar is going to get cheered or booed. No matter if he's good or bad, people are going to love him. He's going to garner some sort of reaction out of people. Dean Ambrose is that underdog that everybody loves, and I think that's the main reason why he was the last one eliminated in the Royal Rumble, so they didn't just jump 100% on Triple H, because Roman Reigns was already getting booed out of the building whenever he first came into the Royal Rumble match. But you put Roman Reigns up, a guy that you've consistently tried to develop and build as the face, the franchise of your company, against internet favorite Dean Ambrose and worldwide favorite Brock Lesnar. It's just, you put the pieces together, and it's going to happen where Roman Reigns wins. You're going to get a mixed reaction. But then I think about it, WrestleMania is a completely different bird. It doesn't matter who's good or bad. It's what you do going up to that.
I'll say this. The fact that Dean Ambrose is involved, and it makes sense he's involved because when Triple H eliminated Roman Reigns and it came down to H and Ambrose, I was like, that's interesting. It's not what we expected. So the fact that happened, you got to throw Ambrose a bone, and you got to put him in this match. Here's what I think the most important thing is, and this kind of is going to be a repeat of what was said a few months ago. If there ever is a time, the heel turn for Dean Ambrose would be crucial right here. Now, it may be predictable in some situations, in some ways, because of the situation, but it could be a really good decision to do because of this reason. Brock Lesnar's probably going to not win the match because the Wyatt family is going to come into play, we'd imagine, with that. So that takes Brock Lesnar out of it. Obviously, if Roman Reigns is going to win this match and go on to face Triple H at WrestleMania, if that's going to happen, you obviously want Reigns to have done, again, defied as many odds as possible. And so by Brock being took out from the Wyatts, well, there's no real win there for Roman Reigns. But if Dean Ambrose, if his brother, the one guy he could still trust after all this time, all of a sudden begins to turn his back on him. I'm not saying Dean Ambrose has to join the Authority, but just turns his back on him because, hey, the WWE title is worth more than Brotherhood. Yeah. That at least would then give Reigns that much more of a heroic, tale as he's on his way to WrestleMania. Again, assuming that it's Reigns versus Triple H. It's not out of the question that Dean Ambrose could be tossed in the main event at WrestleMania if they wanted to go a different route that's not so predictable. I don't know.
If they want to go a route that's not so predictable, then you have Brock. I think out of everybody, Brock Lesnar is the guy that nobody thinks is going to win because who wants to see Brock Lesnar and Triple H at WrestleMania again? But you think about logic, and WWE completely threw logic out the window because if you're Triple H, you're the champion. Why would you want Roman Reigns to get another shot at you?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
There's a lot of logic.
I get it.
A lot of logic gaps.
Exactly. That one. When the Brock Lesnar one, like why is Triple H wanting to face Brock Lesnar?
When the League of Nations, even going back to when the League of Nations attacks Roman Reigns during the Rumble, why the hell wouldn't you attack him and toss him over the rope and just eliminate him? Why would you pull him on the rope?
Yeah.
Why would
you
you just
drag him and beat him up?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
You try to make this heroic comeback, but you look at
the Swiss cheese booking. I get it.
Exactly, but you look at what WWE's trying to develop here. They're trying to develop the ultimate, underdog story with Roman Reigns, who is never the underdog because of his size. So whenever you had the Daniel Bryan underdog storyline, it worked. It made sense. Because people love Daniel Bryan. He could be 5'10", dripping wet, 200 pounds, but people loved the story.
He'd be 200 pounds dripping wet. He's 5'10".
He's 5'10", comma, dripping wet, 200 pounds. Like dripping wet at 200
pounds. It'd be 200 pounds dripping wet.
Get the hell out of here. Anyway, so you know what I'm saying. You're just trying to pick at me.
You did this earlier to me. You tried to throw me off my game earlier.
I'm not going to tell you my
Who the frig is 5'10", dripping wet? You're 5'10", regardless. You might be 5'10", your shoes off.
5'10", comma, dripping wet of 120, 200 pounds.
Stupid.
I'm not stupid. It's a good booking, but it's not good booking with Roman Reigns. It was good booking with Daniel Bryan. Sorry, I can't get my point out.
Good?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I'm ready to go grab a beer. You in? Sunday night beer.
I'm done too. Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com.